Welcome to the Family Brand Show. We're Chris and Melissa Smith of FamilyBrand.com, husband and wife, parents of 5, and we want to help you take back your family and to live life on your terms.
And we know being a family can feel really overwhelming. Parents tell us they feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. It's so challenging to navigate the uncertainty and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now.
And that's why we want to bring you every single week actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become a better parent, to become a better spouse, and to build a stronger family. And look, there's never been a better time and a more important time than right now to take back your family. You can define what your family stands for, or the world is going to do it for you. And the world needs strong families now more than ever. And it starts right here with your family.
Welcome to the new version of the Family Brand podcast. If you're just listening, it's not going to seem new, but we're sitting in new chairs today. Usually we sit behind the desk that Chris uses for work primarily, and I've been wanting to change it up. So we have this in the same room, but on the other side of the wall, we have this cool like wood acoustic. It's supposed to be really good for acoustics. This wall that we set up. I got these awesome chairs. I've had them for like a year. We just haven't used them because I kept thinking, I need a fancy podcast setup with like the big microphones and stuff. And I realized I was talking to Cassidy today, who has helped me with the podcast from the beginning, and asking her some questions, realized maybe I don't need all the things that I thought I needed. So here we go. It's like I've always wanted to record from here for like over a year, and we're finally doing it.
We're doing it.
In fact, I just realized when we built this house, this area was supposed to be for the podcast originally.
That's what you designed it for, right?
Yeah, because there was like no windows on this back wall, so that you wouldn't get bad like backlighting. Wow, what a come full circle moment.
What a milestone.
Okay, so today we are talking about, it's just a conversation that Chris and I have been in, and we were talking about how, well, he got a new phone a few months ago. His phone wasn't working, well, maybe only like a month or so ago. And when you get a new phone, it's actually quite cumbersome sometimes setting everything up again, like logging into everything and, making sure that hopefully you synced to the cloud recently or you like lose all of your messages and pictures, and it can be a little first world problem stressy. But one thing that happened with Chris is when he was setting up his phone, he realized, what did you realize? He didn't put social media on his phone? Was that, obviously that was like a conscious decision, but what was your thought process?
Yeah, there wasn't a super specific reason. I just felt my intuition maybe was just, don't put social media on your phone. Take a little break. There was no like, I'm taking a social media fast or I've been having issues with social media. I was just like, you know what? I think I'm just going to not put it on my phone for a little bit.
Yeah. And I can speak to the familial experience surrounding that, but tell me more, like, how's that been for you?
It's been wonderful. It's actually been very freeing, and I haven't missed it as much as I thought I would. And I think it's been 2 months now. I'll check Facebook and Instagram once in a while on my computer, mostly because I do feel like I have a responsibility to people that were connecting with me on there and maybe through work. I probably am a little more active on LinkedIn because that's where a lot of our clients are for my business. But it's actually felt very freeing. I don't know. I think I used to feel like I should be on social media, like posting content, making a difference for people. Also just like seeing what other people are doing and staying relevant. I don't know. But I think I didn't have this epiphany initially, but since then I've realized I don't have to have social media to make a difference. It is a way to make a difference, but it's like, I can make a difference in my marriage, in my family. I mean, we have over 20 team members now at a possibility company. We have hundreds and hundreds of clients. It's like, that's a lot of people to make a difference for.
And that doesn't even mention people like in the community and your
church,
kids' friends and your church. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can absolutely make a difference through social media, but I think for a while there, I believed I had to be on there in order to make a difference. I don't know what Melissa's experience would be, but I feel like I'm more present in our relationship. I feel like I'm more present to my kids. I feel like I'm more present for my team. I also had this really interesting, I've been doing quite a bit of work lately in my dad's pasture where I keep my horses and cows, and then in our grove, just a lot of tractor work, farm work, blue collar work, which I really enjoy.
On our grove, meaning where our house is, we have 4 acres of pecans surrounding our kind of house area, and we call that the grove.
Yeah, so right now we have 5 sheep, 4 horses, 5 cows, roping steers that we rope, 5 chickens. Wow, five. Five.
Did one of our chickens die? I
No.
thought we had 6 chickens.
Oh, sorry, we have 6. Dang it, you threw me off. I was like, 5 horses, 5 cows, 5 sheep, 5 chickens. This is working great. 5 kids
5 kids. Look at that.
and 100 and something pecan trees. So like, there's always something to do, right? There's always something to work on. So I've been doing quite a bit of work lately outside, and I've really enjoyed it. And one day I knew I was going to be doing some tractor work and probably going to be on the tractor for a few hours on a Saturday. And I decided not to bring any headphones. And here's the reason. Initially, I was like, oh, I got to bring some headphones because it's going to be a long time and I can listen to, I don't know, podcasts. I can listen to music. I can watch some inspirational videos. I can listen to a church talk or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually just going to go for a few hours and just be with my thoughts and just be with myself. And I realized that actually felt intimidating and daunting to me and a little bit uncomfortable, which in and of itself was kind of wild. It's like, I don't know that we are meant to be uncomfortable being with ourselves, but I think we live in a society now where if you're not constantly stimulated or distracted by something else, I think it is kind of uncomfortable because that's the norm. And then at the gym, I don't wear headphones, which a lot of that one blows people's minds. People are like, dude, are you a serial killer? Like, what is wrong with you? How can you? I don't know. And this is just an experiment. Who knows how long it'll last? But I've been experimenting with being with my own thoughts and my own intuition and just me rather than maybe feeling like I have to constantly be stimulated by something else or someone else. And I feel like it's felt initially pretty intimidating, but over time it's felt more freeing, more peaceful. I do feel like I'm tapping into my intuition more. I do feel like I'm getting greater insights. I have more clarity. I'm more at peace with maybe myself and like what I'm doing in my business and my life.
You said something interesting earlier before we hit record. We were kind of talking through the episode, what we might talk about today. You said you had this realization recently that some of the best like downloads or ideas have come to you just through you.
Mm.
Like maybe it wasn't, I'm trying to decide if I just want to keep asking this question or just have you answer it, but it wasn't, necessarily something you had been listening to or a conversation you had had with someone who had given you good advice. It was just like you with your thoughts.
Mm. Yeah. And I have certainly been blessed by other people's ideas, content. I'm a huge believer in like personal development, personal growth. It's reading books, listening to podcasts, consuming meaningful content. It is
Coaching, like, yeah.
coaching, hiring coaches. Like it's absolutely benefited, transformed my life, our marriage, my business. And I was thinking about this, and given all of that, I was like, I still feel like the most profound downloads, ideas that I've ever received that have led to the biggest breakthroughs or transformations in my life have actually come from me. Not, and actually probably come from God through me, but meaning it was the times where I actually took the time to really ponder and consider and ask and inquire. And I believe that all of us have, like, I believe every human being is like an infinitely intelligent being that's tapped into like infinite wisdom. My belief in that is God, so whatever that is for anyone else. And so it's like we're already tapped in. Like if I'm a child of God, if I'm a child of an infinite, all-knowing, all-intelligent being, which I believe I am, well, that says something about me. That says something about you. That means you're already tapped in. But I think sometimes it's like, but you got to like push the power button. Like you got to turn it on. And I think sometimes I'm so busy plugged into other things that I miss like the true source. And so that was just almost confirming to me in this experiment that I'm going through right now. That was like, you know what? There have been times where I've actually experienced that. And I still think it's super important to seek out coaches and mentors and people you trust and consume meaningful content because I do think, I don't necessarily think it has the answers, but it probably stores up ideas and information to help you arrive at the answer. But I truly believe that most people, the best answers for their life, their family, their business, whatever it is actually is going to come from within them,
Yeah.
not outside of them.
Yeah, I do think that is profound, especially in today's day and age. My own experience with that has been, I mean, I've talked about this on the podcast before, how I really love to journal, and I don't do it. It's not like something I do every day, but when I do take the time to journal, I feel like that's a good time to like get clear and be with my thoughts. And then specifically lately, I was telling you earlier how I have been asked to speak in front of our church congregation. It's actually a combination of like, I don't know, 8 congregations that I get to speak to
She's going to crush
coming
it.
up. I'm in a crush. But it is a lot of people, and it is quite intimidating to me. And it's not even that long. It's like I only have to talk for 5 to 7 minutes. But I have been, even my kids are like, "Oh, mom, you don't want to bomb. You don't want to bomb that one."
Don't embarrass us.
And it does feel like it has a little bit of pressure. So I have been like, really, what?
Just thinking of the kids.
Yeah,
Kids are just brutally honest.
yes. So I've been like really thoughtful and even prayerful. What do I want to share? And I was given a broad topic, which I think I'll probably do an episode on this coming up here in a couple weeks. But it's kind of up to me. I can talk about whatever I want within these little parameters. But I haven't really thoughtful lately. Interesting that Chris and I have had this kind of parallel experience, because my thought was, I want to be able, as I'm preparing for this big talk, I want to be able to have impressions and have, downloads of what I should say or what's going to serve this audience the most. But I don't think that if I'm constantly like filling my mind with music or books, I've been on an Audible bender. Is that the word? Bender. The last few months I've listened to some great books, but I'm like, I'm gonna take a little break. I finished the book I was listening to. I was like, I'm gonna take a little break and just have more stillness and more quiet. And it's interesting, I found that my thoughts are naturally in quiet moments, like drawn to the topic in different ways that I might speak about it. And I have had like good moments of clarity where I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I could say this, or that's how I want to say this, or I want to talk about this. But I don't think that would have been available as much to me if I hadn't created the quiet space for it.
Yeah, I think you even said the other night, you're like, something to the effect of, I feel like I'm getting so many like downloads from God and like awesome ideas and inspiration. And maybe this is always available to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, is God just giving me all these awesome downloads because I'm going to do something really important? Or is this always available to me? I'm just not asking or making the time. I can't remember how you said it, but I thought that was an interesting.
Yeah. That was a question I was asking myself.
I would assume it's always available to us if, like, God being who, this infinite intelligence, the universe, whatever you want. It's like, it's always there. And so it's probably always like, hey, I'm.
Whenever you're willing,
You dummy.
I'm available.
I'm here. You don't have to try to do it all on your own. I know you think that Alpha Bro on YouTube is smarter than me, but he's not.
Yeah.
Or whoever it is. Like,
Right. Well, and I think it's interesting, like, we are all living such unique journeys and unique circumstances. We can't expect that it's a one size fits all. Just to go along with your analogy, that the Alpha Bro on Instagram is going to have all the perfect answers for your specific circumstance. But I like the thought that we can have the intuition and we are tapped into, like you were saying, an all-knowing being who would know the best for our specific situation.
but here's what's interesting about that, though. So, like, why do we do that then? Why do we so easily, myself included, why do we outsource our thinking and our clarity and like knowing what it is we want? Why do we outsource it to influencers on social media or podcasts or music? And like, why do we distract ourselves? And like, why do we outsource our intuition then?
I wonder. So yesterday, this is top of mind because we read scripture about this yesterday with the kids. A scripture about trust. what is this scripture? Well, the one I'm thinking of right now is like, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Yeah, it's like, and I've trusted in the like I would trust in you forever.
Yes. But I think sometimes I don't know, maybe it's a combination of just forgetting or feeling like we want to or need to control it, that we maybe just don't take the time to realize that we're doing that we are controlling, trying to control.
Mm.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's because it's the path of least resistance. If you think it's so much easier just to outsource your thinking to someone else. It's like, oh, just tell me what to do. Just you give me the answer and I'll follow you. That's actually really, it still takes a little bit of work, but it's actually quite easy and convenient.
Yeah.
The alternative is like, oh, geez, I'm going to actually have to go like look and inquire and do the work and get clear. Clarity is like really tough work. To get clear on like, well, hey, so just, yeah, it's easy. What do you want most in life? It's like, oh man, that's like, you know what I mean? Or even like, we have some kids right now trying to make decisions. Well, what do you want? What do you want to do with school? Or what do you, it's like, and so I think we've learned, and when there weren't as many maybe distractions to tap into, you just didn't have as many options. So I think you were kind of like, well, the only thing I can outsource my intuition to is like my parents and a handful of people around me. And outside of that, like I kind of got to have to go within and do some inquiry.
Yeah.
I think we live in a world today where people don't have to ever inquire if they don't want to, and really feel like they're following something good. And they might be.
We haven't even talked about AI.
Yeah.
That's even another layer.
Yeah. And look, I use AI every single day, and I hope you all do too in a way that's, you know, beneficial and useful to you. And, it's interesting, even the name, artificial intelligence. It's like, it is an intelligence and it can learn a lot about you, but it's not your intelligence. And I think social media, though, can be its own form of artificial intelligence. Podcasts can be a form of artificial intelligence. And then there's just things that distract us. But the times in my life where I've actually taken the time and really done the work to get clear about something have absolutely been the hardest, the least fun, the most work, the most confronting, but have always led to the most meaningful breakthroughs. And I just think it's never been easier to take the path of least resistance and not have to inquire and do the work. And I've said this before on the podcast. I said this yesterday to a client. I think three of the most dangerous words. There's two 3-word phrases that I think are really dangerous. I don't know, and I probably should. Because neither of them have you have to confront your intuition. It's like, well, this really great thing came along. I probably should do that. Or everyone else is doing this. I probably should. And it just doesn't require you to like have to think for yourself. It's just like, oh, I shouldn't do this.
Go, yeah.
And then the I don't know is such a convenient, like, someone brings up a problem in their life, and then one of their friends goes, well, what do you want? The easiest thing to do is like, I don't know. Because then you don't have to look. You don't have to like do anything. And so yeah, I don't know how long this experiment will last, but I didn't start this as an experiment. It really was just like, I don't feel like putting social media on my phone. And as it's gone on, it's like, I want to get better at tapping into my own wisdom, my own intuition, focusing more on making a difference and an impact here than there, like whatever that means for me.
So we've talked about a lot of different kind of ideas here today, and I always like leaving with a little, what's a practical application. So what I'm thinking is, I think we all have questions, whether we realize it or not. Certain parts of our life were questions like, should we have another baby? Should we go back to school? Should we apply for that other job, that promotion, whatever it is? We all have these little questions in the back of our minds that are that we want to make, or that are needing to be made. So the challenge for this week would be, at a time when you would go sit down and like maybe watch TV, put in a podcast, listen to music, take just one time this week or when it's coming up and just be still and think about that thing that you maybe have a question about or that feels undecided, and seek for some inspiration, wisdom download intuition, whatever you want to call it. See if you get any answers. Do you add anything?
Yeah, my challenge is going to be similar. It's that pick something that you usually do, whether that's going to the gym, driving your car, morning, evening, where just kind of by habit, and maybe it's a really great habit, you just kind of plug yourself into something, a podcast, a talk, music, and just one day don't do that. Just be in silence, be in stillness, be with your thoughts, and yeah, just see what that's like.
I really liked sitting in these chairs today.
Me too. If you keep having us sit in these chairs and give me a drink and a snack, I can just sit here all day long and talk to you.
And and just record all of the podcast episodes.
Yeah.
We got to record. Thanks for recording with me today.
Love you.
Love you.
All right, so that is it for today's episode of the Family Brand Podcast.
But before you go, we have something fun for you.
Yeah, like if you've ever wondered, okay, so how's our family culture actually doing? We've got an incredible quiz for that.
Good news, it's quick, it's free, and when you're done with that quiz, we'll even email you this awesome PDF full of practical ways to strengthen your family culture right away.
So all you have to do is go to familybrand.com/quiz, take the quiz, grab the PDF.
We'll see you next time.